What's up, buddy? Welcome to the show, man. Thanks for
having me, man.
It's an honor, man. So tell us a little bit more about yourself and how'd you get into the NFTs? The lead singer of Avenged Sevenfold, so.
Yeah. Dude, NFTs, it feels like it's been years and years, but it's been, about 9 months, 10 months. Bought crypto early, was obsessed with the space, but it was an investment, like there was no connection between the band and art. It was just purely an investment. Felt like that's where the web was going. Kind of see that, but it was super cool. Then I learned about CryptoPunks, like the beginning of, or the end of last year, and I started kind of paying attention to it. And then one day I decided, I got all this Ethereum, I want to spend it on something. And I was like, these CryptoPunks seem like they're interesting. I was spending some time in the Discord and seeing the community in there, and I was like, this is kind of a relic. When you look back on, when we look back, it's gonna look like a relic on Web3, the first thing that is on the Ethereum blockchain, or the smart contracts, and we could debate that. I mean, obviously people talk about hero cards and stuff, but punks interested me. Bought one, went home, I was super scared, like why did I spend all that money on this thing? And then I looked at it every day and I was like, man, I kind of love this thing, it's like amazing. And so I started buying CryptoPunks, and then the Bored Apes came out. And the Bored Apes, minted some of those, and I saw the utility with the Web3 where they were, locking down part of the website, and you had access if you had this, and you could buy merch drops only if you had the token. And the community was just growing and growing, and there was the excitement, and I was like, man, this is what every artist that has like a community or any sort of like fan base should be doing, because the Bored Apes were able to pull that out of thin air. They just made an ape and they made a community, and it was like, we're going to give you utility, but it's kind of like, okay, but what is it based off of? Well, just a community. If you have a band or an artist, you can base it off that community and tokenize it and give these people so much. So that's how I got into it. The wheels started spinning, and I started going, this seems like it's going to be something. And then I became obsessed. And when you're obsessed with something, it finds its way into your work, right? Into your art. So that's my long, convoluted answer.
So how does Avenged Sevenfold come into play?
Well, we knew it was going to be a big leap for our fans to hear these words, these almost trigger words in the mainstream, which is like crypto or blockchain or NFT, right? And so we knew we had to kind of, if we wanted to do something like this, we needed to be respectful to the NFT communities that have already been built and what they, how they roll. And me and Brian have been spending so much time in these Discords that we really wanted to kind of take that model and incorporate it into us. So we went to the band and we said, guys, we really think that we can offer the community much more by having it on tokens. And we went through example after example of giveaways weekly to dropping them stuff in the metaverse, because we'd been building in the sandbox for about a year. And the sandbox, for anyone that doesn't know, is a metaverse where we're building out social hubs and we're building out games. And so we're like, well, what if only token holders could play the games? Or what if we could give them avatars and clothing in the games if you own the token? So it all started like piecing together, and we said, this is like, what if we started fractionalizing music in the future, and we're allowing people to participate in publishing? What if we did, and we just kept thinking about it and going, well, none of that stuff's possible without the blockchain. And so the first thing we needed to do is create a collection, think about it, really think about this thing. So we spent 6 months ideating on this thing, building out the contracts ourselves, making sure that there's no third party intact, right? Like the whole point of this thing is to be a direct connection, not, oh, we had this company build it for us and we did this, and now we got to ask them if we can do this. We can do whatever we want. It's our connection. So we just started hanging out in the Discord, educating fans. A lot of them had a negative reaction to it, which we expected, and then slowly just keep, iterating that this is not a scam. We're really here. We're going to build this community out, and it's starting to happen. So now we get to November 2021, and we're ready to drop our 10,000 launch, which will be the 10,000 that will sustain us through the rest of our career. These will be the 10,000 that you can get, and that's all there is.
That is freaking awesome, man. And when are they launching?
End of November.
End of November. Is there a set date yet?
No, we're not setting a date, because we've noticed with a lot of these drops, if you don't know who else is going to drop on certain days, and you don't want the gas war to be too insane. Right. So we're just trying to be really cognizant of like, oh, there's nothing dropping this day. We're going to throw it, like, it's end of November. Boom, we're going, right? And we're going to whitelist for 24 hours for our fans that are whitelisting on the Discord. making sure the fans get them first. Like our biggest thing is not letting NFT savvy flippers get them, right? We want it to be fans that actually want to have the tokens.
Hell yeah.
So
that's sick, man. I'm so excited. So what are some cool like features that you plan like to offer for your fans or people that are holding the tokens, and how many rares are there going to be? And
yeah, so I can't give exact numbers on the rares because the algorithm machine is going to spit out what it wants. Like we put it in a threshold, right? And then we've had runs where the guest, which is an alien, we put it to 0.09% and one of them popped. So you just never know what's going to pop, right? And so there could be 9. I'll give you the round number. So 9 guests are going to give you free meet and greets and free tickets to any show you want for life. 24 ghosts are going to give you free tickets for life. 88 zombies are going to give you free meet and greets for life. 150 shook are going to give you airdrops to your house twice a year of like one-of-one merch that no one else can get. And then we have 44 one-of-ones for guitar lessons, drum lessons, play golf with me, I'll take you out to my golf club. Like things that you can redeem once a year.
Out here, man.
Yeah, and so then besides that, there'll be the common tokens, which are still going to look cool, and that will give you the weekly giveaways. We're going to do poker nights, movie nights, avatar airdrops into the metaverse. We'll have access to the sandbox. You'll have merchandise dropped into the sandbox, right? Nikes and like whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
We might even do. I've been thinking about like collabing with like Astros. Like I'm a big gamer. Like collabing with them and doing airdrops to only certain traits.
Yeah.
And then so it's just like you can do anything you want.
Infinite.
At any time. They get no lines into shows. They have their own merch that's going to be just for them.
Yep.
I mean, it just goes on and on and on. It goes on and on. Yep. I mean, and then we have some ideas that are bigger that we don't want to talk about yet because they're just
ideas.
I haven't seen it done yet.
Yep, those are the ideas you want to have.
Those are the ones you want to have. Yep.
Keep them close for sure. So, what is the next play after this? This launches and then.
So our record's almost done.
Yep.
We'll finish the record up. We start tour in June. That should give this enough time to kind of settle. And like people understand what it is, and then they're going to start seeing the perks roll out, right?
Oh yeah, the tour is going to send that to the full set.
Well, and they're going to start seeing people that are going to a bunch of shows that have the token.
Yeah, you're going to start seeing people walking in the front of the line when you're standing outside freezing.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. He's got his hoodie on, you know.
He's got his token.
Yeah.
So it could be. I mean, that's what's going to start happening, in my opinion.
I'm so glad I came to this event because the crypto space is so big, as you know, right? It's so hard to like. I feel like I forget who says it, but he's like, you read one book a month on any subject for 5 years, right? You will be in the top 3 leading experts in that category. So I don't know, maybe it was 6 months ago, or maybe 3 months ago, I really was like, okay, I got to pick a sector of crypto, right? Instead of reading a book a month, I'm going to read as much as I can, and I'm going to watch and consume as much content on that specific topic until I really fully. Yeah. And then that led me down the whole Bitcoin, like evolution of money type of rabbit hole. I spent a month there. And then I started to go down the DeFi, and I was like, shoot, man, like there's DeFi is so deep. And then I was thinking about going towards more towards the NFT side, and then that is how I was applying to get my media passes here. And then after coming here, it's like, whoa, like you could pick one sector of NFTs and spend a lifetime just in the corners little niche of it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so. Absolutely, and you're going down all the rabbit holes that we've gone down, and they just keep getting deeper. I mean, every week, like everyone goes like, well, what's next for the project? And it's like, it probably hasn't even been thought of yet, because next week we're going to see something happen. We're going to go, we want to do that. Yep. And the cool thing about the blockchain is, like, that can happen instantly. Whatever they did, the code is open. Open source. Go grab it and let's go do our own version of that, or ideate. And things are going to work. Things are not. We're going to airdrop things to people that are not going to care about. Yep. And there's going to be other things that are just like, oh my God, you just gave me that. Why? Well, because you're a token holder. Mm-hmm. And. I mean, every week we're just learning about, we're learning about new things, and it's like so exciting. Yeah. Like there's no other space that is evolving this quick. Yep. It's gnarly. You have kids? Two kids. Yep. How old? 7 and 9. Okay, my boy's 8. I don't know what blockchain, because I just saw it on like an ad when I was coming here. So like the Oculus, like the headset. We have that. Yeah. So puts it on in the backseat of a car. You seen this one yet? No. So parents are driving, kids are in the backseat with their headset on. It puts them in a 3D metaverse. You're driving straight, they're flying with pterodactyls through Jurassic Park. The car turns right, they turn right in the game, in the headset, and now they're in a jungle. And like trees are flying at them and they're dodging things. And add Pokemon Go. where people were walking around. So when your parents are driving, you're grabbing NFTs.
Oh my God. It takes care of all the, when are we there?
You could drive to Florida and back, and kids are probably still back there. Like,
absolutely.
I was like, oh my gosh, like that's when, now I was like, okay, like that is like, wow.
Yeah, and if you look at the culture coming up, you know, I think we talked about this a little bit earlier, but my generation created the $1 million video game player, Twitch, YouTube. All this came from my generation of like us loving video games and tech.
Yep.
The new iteration of Web3 is like the next generation coming up. They're spending more and more time online, right? They have more and more friends. Like my kids play Fortnite all day. Like as much as I'll allow them to, right? They would play all day if they could.
100%. Yep.
And what do they spend all my money on?
Fortnite.
Skins.
Yep.
Like Fortnite skins. And like they want like the cool shoes and the cool avatar and the cool this, but they don't own any of it.
Right.
As soon as they turn off Fortnite, it goes away. So the blockchain is going to solve all that. But our kids are going to grow up in that. And as you know, we spend more and more time online, people are going to understand more that digital assets are worth just as much in there than they are here, because you're actually seeing more people, which is crazy. And
you're putting in work for them too. That's like that skin in the game factor where you have to do work to get something.
Yep.
Is
huge. Being a part of those communities, you know, like this is the one time this year I'm going to see all these people on Twitter that I follow.
Yep.
I see them more on Discord and in the metaverse, right? And so when you're wearing your t-shirt in the metaverse, it's actually more important in there. Like, what are you wearing? What's your guy wearing? Like, what does your avatar look like? Like what is your like little avatar? Like, what is your profile pic? Like, there are things that the older generation obviously is going to scoff at.
100%.
It makes no sense to them.
Yep.
But, you know, the same way they scoffed at us when we were playing, you know, Halo all day.
Yeah.
100%. It works out because the culture allows it to be the cool thing.
Yeah.
It allows it to be, I want to watch that guy. I want to watch Dr. Disrespect. I want to watch Shroud. You know, like, it's a whole thing. Like our parents would never understand.
100%. 100%. I try to explain it to my stepdad. He gets it. Yeah, my dad's he was like thought I was crazy when I was mining Ethereum when it was, you know, $2, right?
Oh, dude.
And then
it's awesome.
Fast forward, you know, like a year, then fast forward to the 2017 bull run, right? And it was blown up, and then it was Dad's coming over to convert my master walk-in closet to put exhaust vents up in it, because I lived in a condo up in the second unit, so we ran exhaust vents over to like the bathroom, like where the heat goes up, you know, so it could run, like I put my miners in a second story. It was so hot in there, it didn't work, but it was just cool to see my dad like being like, you're an idiot for investing in crypto, to being like, here, can I give you some money to help this like expedite? Can we get more of this crypto?
And then 2008 happens and he's like, you're an idiot again.
Dude, 100%.
I told you it was a scam.
Yep. See, why would, if Bitcoin went up to 20,000, why would you not sell it? You just had something that went from there.
My mom always says that. I got her into Bitcoin and she's always like, should we sell it? I'm like, no, it's not why you, just hold on to it, Mom.
Out of all the crypto, so are you guys building your own blockchain? You said you wanted to control everything. Are you building on top of Ethereum?
No, we're building on Ethereum.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Ethereum to me is completely decentralized in a way that we can have complete governance of what we're doing. I think the only thing that is, listen, we're the ones creating the content, so it's always going to have some sort of centralization, which would be us. But we are imploring the fans to build. We want them, we're going to have a community wallet, liquidity pool. We're going to have all the things that you would have in a community where they can build. We're going to give them somewhat the IP on the tokens that they own, right? Like, we want them to go do stuff with their bats. We're going to own our bats. They own their bat. Like, we have our stuff that we own. So as much as it can be like decentralized for them, it will be. But we still know that the community is not going to write the songs. 100%. We're going to write the songs, and we're going to drop them in and then see what they do with it, right? But as much as it can be, we want the community to build this out.
So now, if I own, how does that go as far as like content creators? Because I always thought this would be cool as like from a content creator side where I want to use people's music, right?
Yep.
But I live stream every day, right? So I can't afford to buy a like $500 rights to a track.
Yep.
To use in my video, which actually, it's not like I'm using it to promote a product, right?
Yeah.
I'm just using it to entertain my guests, which at most of the time, like it'd be almost cool to do, like having, like if you had an NFT, you could have permission to use, you know, or how are artists, do you think, are able to sell music in 5 or 10 years?
So I think that whole thing is like, that's like a third-party label issue, right? That's like a publishing issue. Like, not many artists care. Right, like if you play our music in your background or you're playing it on your YouTube, like we like that. It's the other people. It's like the people that have paid us to make the record that have the problem with it, right? Like they're the ones that are like, oh, we're trying to recoup. And so like, I think once you get those third parties out of the way, that's not even an issue, right? But I think once you put music on the blockchain, which I think Tidal is going to do, and I think all the artists coming up will prefer being on the blockchain because you don't want to have to deal with accounting and auditing, which happens every year for us. We audit everybody and we find money because they're not paying us. And these are good people. It's just the way the business is constructed. It's just shitty. I believe that that's going to solve a bunch of problems. And in the blockchain, you could literally go to your fans and be like, hey, let's fractionalize out 50% of the publishing. You guys get it.
That's it.
And it goes back into the community or whatever it is. But the whole thing with playing on YouTube or whatever, that is like such a third party problem because artists don't care. There's no way the artists care. Why would they?
That's what I always thought. I always thought it was like, man, like it just, I can't wait for that to happen because I would love to play your music, you know, but I can't.
No, I know.
It's like,
we get all these requests from people like, and we're like, we can't do anything about it. That's just the way the system is.
100%.
They're flagging you on an algorithm.
That's it.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with us.
Sorry. So what can we, how do we end this? What do you, is there any, maybe we can get you guys, would you guys be interested in coming back onto the show right before your launch?
Sure,
So like maybe like a 15 or 30 minute like quick talk to talk about like what's developed and what you can announce about what hasn't been released yet?
Yeah, absolutely,
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know you're busy, so dude, it was really
Dude, no, really fun, man. Thank you, man. That was really fun.
Oh, tell everybody where they can find you at and where do you guys...
Okay, So I think for this project, the best thing to do is go to the Avenged Sevenfold Discord. You know,
what is the Avenged Sevenfold Discord?
Avenged Sevenfold Discord. So it's just our
username.
Oh, it's just Avenged Sevenfold.
Okay.
Yep. And we got it. Discord's working with us. They verified it. We got the great mods. It's great, right? And there's a community in there that's like helping. One group of people have already started their own podcast about crypto, like and learning about crypto for new people, how to set up MetaMask and do all that stuff. And then I would say if you're interested in this thing, AvengedSevenfold.io instead of .com is our Web3 website, and that's where it's all going to be happening.
Perfect. Perfect. And then, are you active in what platform are you most active on?
I'm in Discord.
Discord?
All the time.
Heck yeah.
I'm in there talking to everyone all the time.
What's your Twitter?
So I just started a Twitter because I started doing Twitter Spaces. I never had a Twitter. It's shadows_ETH.
Shadows_ETH. Perfect. Great.
That's
man.
me. Yep.
Dude, honor, man.
Yeah.
Really, thank you so much for coming
on the show. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
What are you guys doing tonight? Anything fun?
Bored Apes party.
Hell yeah, man.
Going to the Bored Apes.
Hell yeah.